People share varying statistics regarding employment rates for people who are deaf. It ranges from 50% to 75%. But what is the actual employment rate? The actual employment rate may not apply to all deaf people. For example, women, people of color, and those with additional disabilities may have a different experience.
A welder, a teacher,
filmmaker, personal trainer,
yoga instructor,
dentist, mechanic,
teaching for the deaf and blind. I'm a researcher. I'm an advocate.
A University of Texas at Austin research team analyzed a sample collected from the U.S. Census Bureau. The sample considers only individuals ages 21 to 65, or working age, to exclude those retired and those still pursuing education. Using this data, they pinpointed the actual unemployment rates for hearing individuals and deaf individuals. 72% of hearing individuals are working, whereas 48% of deaf individuals are working. Of those not working, the federal government identified two categories. The first is unemployment, meaning people who are actively searching for a job and need assistance. The second category is called not in labor force, and are those not interested in working, meaning they have maybe retired early, be at home raising a family, or seeking additional education. Recall that unemployment means actively searching for work. When considering the unemployment rates for the entire country, there is not a large discrepancy between the general U.S. hearing population and deaf individuals. Now remember that the not in labor force category includes individuals that are not in the job market or not actively seeking work. In this category, the numbers are drastically different. 23% of hearing people, whereas 47% of those deaf. There are 5 subcategories to the not in labor force category. This includes women, veterans, Native Americans, African Americans, and deaf disabled. Some of these individuals may have been unsuccessful in finding employment or may have been unsatisfied with their work opportunities. These individuals have a variety of experiences and reasons for not working.
It's a big challenge and quite frustrating. A number of barriers exist because the general public think deaf-blind people aren't able to do things.
I would be under a lot of stress.
Everything needs to be instantaneous. Communication needs to happen on the fly. They didn't understand how best to communicate. For my employer and manager, writing messages was a struggle, so I quit.
When it comes to doing last-minute things, with my disability, I can't do last-minute things. They see that I'm deaf and a girl, they think I can't do the job.
Employers don't want to pay interpreting expenses because they're costly. Generally, there's a lack of experience working with deaf people. There's fewer opportunities.
There's a common misconception that deaf individuals earn less than their hearing counterparts. This actually isn't true. The average salary for both groups working full-time is $52,000. Hearing females earn 82 cents to every dollar that a hearing male earns, and deaf females earn 76 cents compared to each dollar a deaf male earns.
Being deaf with an additional disability, I face more difficulties. If one has a physical disability, a visible disability, it frightens employers and leads them not to hire that disabled person. If one has an invisible disability that you can't see, such as ADHD or in the like, the person with that type of disability normally doesn't disclose that. But when it's found out and realized, the individual may need accommodations, and that can take more time.
For me, it wasn't hard finding a job. It was more that I couldn't keep the job.
It is hard finding a job. It's no joke.
Deaf individuals have an employment rate of 63%, whereas individuals that are deaf with an additional disability are employed at a rate of 32% and earn less. Across the U.S., there are discrepancies in pay for people of color, and this is true for individuals who are deaf as well. For example, people who are Latino work more than those who are white, but they earn significantly less. It's important to understand that employment experiences are not the same for all individuals who are deaf. Each has their own identity, experience, and needs. The community should address this diversity through support and collaboration.
We hope to see the development of job training, the chance to apply for jobs, greater job opportunities for deaf people, the ability to show our skills, and the greater communication access. Those are key.